Right. Oh, I should be putting this. La, 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 la. One person there. Hi. Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. How are you doing? How is your Sunday? Let me know where you're tuning in from. And welcome. Welcome to the space. I'm good to see you. Yeah. Hold on to grace. So today we're going to, our theme is October being the month of, the month of overflow, not just in material, but also in spiritual, emotional, and divine clarity. Yep. So talk to me, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from as you're coming in. And good to see you guys. And happy Monday, not happy Monday, oh gosh. What am I thinking? I'm thinking about Monday. Happy to the new month of October. Should have brought this here. I mean, like, some moment. I need something to lean on. Yep, some year. Oh, yeah, so let me see. So say hello. Happy Sunday. 3 people in the house. How are you guys? Welcome. Good to see you. Let me know how is your Sunday? Where are you from? Where are you tuning in from? Is it a morning? Is it an evening? Is it an afternoon on your end? On my end, it's an evening. All the way from Poland. Yeah, and today we're here for Sunday Reset. 10 million in the house. Hi guys, how are you doing? 10 people. Let me know where you're tuning from. And welcome. And as you're coming in, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel. And today we are having a Sunday Reset where we're talking about October being the month of overflow, not just in material, but in spiritual, emotional, and divine clarity. 15 million. Thank you so much for coming, guys. I appreciate you all. And let me know where you're tuning in from. As you're coming in, say hello. And let me know where you're tuning in from. And how is your Sunday coming along? Are you just waking up or you're almost to end your Sunday? Yeah. All right. Say something. Talk to me. Let me know where you're watching from. And I'm going to appreciate that. So today we're going to talk about this new month. We've just started a new month, and oh, lo and behold, looks like the days are going so quickly. Just the other day we started, this year, but now we're almost winding it up. Yes, welcome everybody. I can see 10 people there. Let me see. And 21. Oh my God, how are you guys? Happy Sunday, happy new month, happy new October. This is the first Sunday of October, right? Yeah. No wonder today we're going to talk about October Overflow. Let me know where you guys are watching me from. Say hello to me. Let me know where you're watching me from, where you are. And I'm going to appreciate that. So today we're going to look at the promise of overflow and how to stay connected so that we can always stay in the abundant wherever mindset, and we attract even when you're going through situations in life, we can attract abundance, and choosing to be grateful, choosing generosity, and choosing always to attract the good things in life. Thank you so much for the love. I can see that. Taimon, hi Taimon, how are you doing? Hi Jessica, good to see you. Hello from Texas. Welcome. I guess Timon is there's a Polish name. I guess, dzień dobry, team one. Dzień dobry, team. Jak się masz? Jak się masz? I hope you're doing well. Yeah. Hi to see you. Good to see you guys. Oh, today you have the you have the crown. Finally. Oh my god. Today you have the crown. Thank God it's a Sunday. It looks like Sunday is your lucky day. You're not struggling a lot. I mean, I'm talking to just EKI. Oh, and it feels hot in here. Oh my god. Oh my lord. All right. So Timon, jak się masz? Po prostu jesteś Polakiem, tak? Amazing you speak Polish. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Mm. So we have 17 people. Welcome, darlings, and you're coming in. As you're coming in, give me a thumbs up. It's hot in fall. No, I feel hot. I don't know. I'm just taking my tea here, so I feel hot. Yeah, the room is quite warm. Now that's the reason why I feel hot. I need probably to open windows and get some fresh air to come in. Yeah, so how 17 million in the house? How are you doing, guys? Let me know where you're tuning in from. Say hello to me. Don't just stay there and look at me. Hello. Say hello to me, being a Sunday as you're preparing for the new week. Let me know. How are you doing? How is your new month coming along? Are you feeling good? Yeah. So, yeah, sometimes even in fall it feels that, especially in the house, like if you have the panels on. So, yeah, it's always going to be Lonjeri Kimani host. Hello, EKI. How are you doing? Good to see you. How is your Sunday? I bet you've woken up already, right? So how is your Sunday? Are you looking forward for the new week? Or you're not a Monday person? 12 people. Let me know where you're watching me from, darling. And welcome as you're coming in. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up so that we can start having a conversation about, this month of October. And we're going to look on how overflows, begins with belief. You have to believe. If you need an overflow in your life, you have to have a belief, and then you have to position yourself in faith. Otherwise, you cannot just stay there and think that things are going to work out, but you don't even have the belief of itself. You don't even have faith itself. Sunday, as usual, Monday blues. Oh, yeah. I know. That's why we're going to do a reset service. Is it called service? I don't know how to call it. Anyway, just, make sure you don't overwhelm yourself so much with lots of things to do. I think Sundays should be one of those days that you just stay at home and as you prepare for a new week, right? That should kind of like fit your Monday blues. Or you're a cucumber person, so Monday blues has to hit you very hard. Not unless you were partying so hard, then Monday is going to be a disaster. Monday is going to be a disaster. Absolutely. When you party so hard, you're gonna recover on Wednesday. By Wednesday and Thursday. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Okay, darling. So welcome, 5 people. So let's talk about stepping into abundance and divine flow this new month. And I know sometimes, like sometimes when you talk with people, I don't know if people are like kind of like not really happy about how probably the year has gone. Everybody, sometimes when you're starting the new month, we are more like having resolutions. And by the way, I don't do resolutions anymore. Heartways, hi Heartways, good to see you, darling. I no longer do resolutions anymore because I realized you start doing your resolutions by the first week of January, and that year, the end of January, you're totally lost. You don't even know what you're doing in this world. It's just so I no longer do Cześć. Skład mówisz? Ja jestem z Polkiem, pozdrawiam. Jestem Polakiem. Ja jestem keniński, ale tutaj mieszkam w Polsat. All right. And back love to you. Back love to you, Tomash. I hope you're doing well. Tomash, have you given me a thumbs up and, subscribe to my channel? So I was talking about how I don't now, like, I have stopped doing them. Oh, yeah. I realized, oh, super. Tak, kochanie. Bardzo dziękuję. I realized the trend with me. Like I start the resolution and you're so hyped up in the first week of January, but when you're coming to the 30th of January, you've totally lost lost your direction. You don't even know what you're doing anymore in this world. So I don't do resolutions. I rather like plan. I have some goals. So the next 2 weeks, this is what I'm going to do. The next 3 weeks, this is what I'm doing. But I'm not having like a resolution for that whole 1 year, what I'm expecting. And that's why sometimes we get so frustrated. People are so now frustrated because it's the end. I was somewhere, and the person who was hosting a live stream was like, "Hi, Laura, good to see you, darling." Was like, "Oh, I'm not happy because it's almost the end of the month, and I wrote everything down what I want, all my resolutions, but it looks I'm nowhere near the resolutions." Yeah, it's so frustrating. So for me, I have this trick. If I want to do something, I'm doing it this month. I'm not thinking about next month or anything. I'm doing it this moment. I don't want to be frustrated. So thank you so much for coming for Reset Sunday. And today we're going to talk about October Overflow and stepping into abundance and divine flow. If you're there and you're frustrated that things are not working out the way you expected them in the beginning of the new year, do not be disappointed. You can still start over all over again. So nobody said that you have to do these resolutions. So we're going to look at in a way that, not just material, but spiritual, like I've said, emotional and divine clarity. And Haju says, girl, next resolutions will be before Christmas that will have Vlogmas. I cannot wait for that craze and see how many will actually post every day. Yeah, that's amazing. That's good. You see, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I do love watching a Vlogmas, but I'm not the person to kind of like do them. I am not good in that whatsoever, but I love watching them. So I'll be looking forward to that, darling. I'll be looking forward to that. So, so I want to know, like, this month, what are you like believing God um, to overflow in your life this October? I'm not talking about before the end of this year, but I'm saying this October. So what are you believing that God is going to overflow in your life? It could be, spiritual stuff, it could be material stuff, it could be emotional stuff, it doesn't matter, wherever it is, yeah. And 7 people there watching me. Thank you so much, darling, for coming. And do not forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. So let's talk about the core teaching, which is the promise of overflow. And I'm going to quote 2 verses. I'm going to quote John 7:38 that says, "Whoever believes in me, rivers of living water will flow from within them." And then I'm going to quote Psalms 23:5. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. So it looks like overflows begins with belief, when you believe, and then you position yourself in faith. And just like they keep on saying, like, faith without whatever, blah, 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 is dead. Yeah. I'm not a very good person when it comes to scriptures. I'm learning. My resolution is for God to guide me to work a bit less and take care of myself. I need a me and family time. Wow, that's nice. That is good. That's fantastic. Hi, Ifeanyi. Good to see you. Hurrah. I got in on time today. Yes, and you're welcome. You're welcome. Wow, that's a good one. Hajways. Yeah. That's a good one. I love that. I love that. Just having to take care of yourself. A lot of the times is when we're juggling stuff and we do not even spare time for ourselves. And then that's when sometimes we have a breakdown with our health and all that. So it's very important. So I was talking about, I was quoting now John 7:38 and Psalms 23:8. And these 2 verses are more of like, trying to believe and then positioning yourself in faith. And we're going to dig deeper into that. We're going to talk more deeply into that. So how to attract, the posture of overflow and how to keep it. So if you look at like Psalms 92, verse 12 to 14, it says, "The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. They shall still bear fruit in old age. They shall be fresh and flourishing and who you in me. So the main point here, it's overflow is not just about receiving, it's about posture. And flourishing people are rooted in prayers, in whatever you do want to do. You can do meditation. Myself, most of the time, I do meditation. And they're also rooted in gratitude, and they're also rooted in integrity. So for you to have a practical flow, when you're rooted in faith, it's about waiting for God's timing. When you're rooted in radical gratitude, it's about more like giving thanks to God. And you can go and read for yourself the Thessalonians 5:18. So, and also you're open to receive, so like you have open hands, you're not holding anything. When I talk about open hands, I'm not saying that you open your hands and you wait for people to come and give you. No, it's about, you release that urge to receive. You just let, the God, the universe, whatever you believe in, to take care of it. Thank you so much, darling. 17 people coming in. Thank you as you're coming in. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Yeah. So let's talk about, when you have an overflow in dry places. And quote unquote, I'll call this, God's surprises. And so true, faith without work is dead. Yeah, resolutions feed my spiritual man and practice healthy habits. That's a good one. Nice. I love that. So, so when I talk about overflow in dry places, I am trying to quote, 20 people. Thank you so much, darling. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. So I'm quoting Isaiah 43:19, which says, see, I am doing a new thing. I am making a new way. I'm making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. So what does that teach us? Or what does it say? It says like an overflow doesn't always come from when we expect it. It often shows up in dry places. So, and this is where sometimes our faith gets tested a lot, because you're more waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for your prayers to be answered at that particular moment. This is when I want it. I wanted this Friday to happen, but sometimes that's not how God works, or whatever you believe in, your source energy, the universe, and all that. But you have to be like deeply rooted and having faith and believing that whatever is going to happen is going to happen in divine timing. You're not more like pushing things to really happen. You just wait. You let go. You stay in alignment. You practice. You have your daily practices that, are going to keep you in track. So if you feel like you're stuck, maybe it could be because probably you do not really have a lot of belief and faith in you, or you're just out of alignment with your source energy, with your God, whatever you believe in. So you have to go back to your source. That's where you can draw, you can find the wisdom on how to go about it, when you're really wanting something so bad, but it's not coming through, when you've set your goals, but it looks like nothing is moving whatsoever. So where have you felt barren or even stuck? So do you believe God for a stream in that exact desert, or do you sometimes even feel like you don't know even if God exists whatsoever? Laura says faith keeps us moving. Absolutely. If any greetings are always accepted. Okay. So now let me talk about the multiplication of the overflow. So let's look on Matthew 14:7-20. Jesus multiplies the 5 loaves and 2 fish until overflow baskets remain. So the teaching thing, the main thing here to kind of like meditate on, it's that the kingdom overflow is not addition, it's multiplication. So God doesn't just meet the needs, he exceeds them. Efeni says we don't just wait, we got to be ready. The readiness enhances the reception that leads to flourishing experience. Absolutely, I like that. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God! And Ike, what happened to your crown? Yeah, thank you so much for that insight. So, what is it? So when I talk about multiplication overflow, not just addition. So it's about the practical thing, key thing here. It's, small beginning can carry supernatural multiplication. And sometimes we do not, I don't know who I was talking to, and I was telling them, sometimes we don't like to celebrate the small winnings. And then we forget that through those small steps and small winnings, it's when you're going to get your big, huge breakthrough that you really want. So expect exponential return when you sow in faith. Also, overflow is a proof that God is bigger than your resources. So you can have so many resources, but you don't even know what to do with it. And at last, it's just like kind of like destroy you, and that's not what you want. Life has taken over the crown. Ife has taken over the crown. I have seen that. Yeah, but anyway, it's okay. It's all right. So, what is the key thing? So, for us, like in this month of October, to have an overflow, so we have to have a belief that is very key, and that's what's going to unlock um, the overflow. So, you have to have a belief that if you really want something so bad, it's going to happen, but not how you want it. But just let your God or whoever you believe in, source energy, the universe, they're going to deliver it when the right time comes, when it's the best time for you. The other thing is when you talk about faith, I think it creates a magnetic field, right? So that pulls the divine, whatever, intervention or even divine resources, favors, opportunities, towards you. So when you look at the belief is more like the starting point. It's if you don't expect God's overflow, you won't recognize it even when it comes. So that's why I said you have to be rooted in your daily like practices. Do you meditate? Do you pray? Do you journal? Do you sing? Do you whatever, whatever that's gonna work for you. Adways, Efe has taken over the Adways is gone as well. All right. So, and the thing I love to do so much, like okay, because it's very human nature to kind of like wait for the overflow and you're waiting for things to work out, but they're not working out. So when I start feeling like I'm getting a bit of negativity pulling me, thinking that, I'm a failure, oh, it's not going to happen, it's not going to work, I love to speak loudly, like for the things I'm calling out. I do, like, even when I'm walking alone, especially by wherever forest, you'll find me talking to myself. And that's the time probably I'm even calling God and say, like, come here. I need to have a conversation with you. When is it gonna come? When I'm tired. Show me the way, or just give me ideas, or just, unlock my creativity so that I stay in, being busy. So I'm not gonna be idle in that way. We could be waiting, but distracted, a certain focus is needed. And that is what readiness does. Yes, you are right. In that daily routine, it is the opposite pole to what you're expecting. Yeah. Sometimes we want to do things, we want things, or we are manifesting, whatever. Let me use the word manifesting. We're trying to manifest things in life. But if we do not have daily practices that we need so that we can magnetize that, whatever we want, what's the best word to use? I think people call it like vibration, so that you can be vibrating in that level of the thing that you want. That's what they say, right? So if you do not have those daily practices or a daily routine, oh, you're gonna wait for long. It's gonna take time. But like, and for me, the thing I love to do a lot is to meditate, and I love gratitude. Whether things are working out or that things are not working out, I just give myself like few minutes of feeling sorry for myself and feeling lonely and all that, and then I start putting on the gear of being grateful and doing my meditations and all that. So it takes me back to the alignment. It takes me back to the field of trying to magnetize the huge thing that I want, without forgetting the small things that would be coming before I expect the big thing. Yeah. So let's talk about how you position in faith. Your spiritual postures matters a lot. As much as we keep on like thinking that it's gonna happen whenever it's gonna happen, you must have a spiritual posture. So, and here I say it, overflow doesn't just come to those who want it, it comes to those who are aligned with it. So you have to prepare yourself mentally, physically, wherever. You have to be very fully prepared. And I will quote James. James 2:17, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, it is dead. Yeah, all crowns God. So positioning yourself in faith means your actions, your words, your mindset is just lining up with what you believe or what you are praying for. So you cannot be talking about one thing, but then your mindset, this is what you want, but then your mindset is very, it's directed to the scarcity end of it. So you have to act. Oh, and I love what's the name? Napoleon Hill. And there's this thing that Napoleon Hill. I don't know if you guys know Napoleon Hill. He keeps this saying that if you want something, really you really want it, you have to live on the end. So you have to live like you already have it. You have to have that belief that it is coming and you can see it and you can visualize it. And then you just also you let go. Don't just keep on like hanging on it, walking around like a crazy person. Very powerful. Faith is not accompanied without action. Absolutely. Yeah. And this is where sometimes even in churches it goes wrong. You find a teacher, yes, do it. So, and this is why sometimes we like even now in nowadays churches, you find people are preaching how do you guys call it? Prosperity gospel, where you're told pray, pray, pray from Monday to Saturday. You keep on there being prayerful, but there's no action. If you want something, believe it, faith it, and then act. And after that, through the action, you're going to get the results. They might not be, the results that you really want, but hey, you tried and you did something. Maybe through that something, you're being prepared for something else bigger. And maybe there's a lesson to learn from that. I don't know if that makes sense. Keep chatting, your crown will be back. So, practical positions are mindset. Speak abundance, not lack. Don't speak about luck as much as you have to vibrate. You have to keep yourself in the vibration, right? And it's in Proverbs. It's not me saying, it's the Bible. It's your Bible, guys. It's in the Proverbs 18-21. Speak good things about yourself. Speak about abundance that you want. Speak wherever you want. Speak your winnings and all that. 16 million in the house. Thank you so much, darlings, for coming. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up. So obedience is also a practical positioning. So stay in the flow of obeying small nudges from your source energy, from the universe, whatever you believe in, from God. Expectation. So expect daily an overflow, right? Walk as if your prayers are already answered. Yeah, you always have to act like you've already gotten whatever you want. SOL believing is the starting point. You have to believe. If you don't believe, you'll be in trouble. You have to, let me see. Oh, the power is of life, death, and death. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, and also now you have to realize that an overflow is a flow, it's not an event. And as much as we're calling October, an overflow, whatever, blah, 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 it's not a one time thing or a one time miracle. It's a continuous flow. So you cannot tell me you're a believer, but you're having it at one point, then at the moment you're nothing, you've got nothing to show. So it's more a continuous flow. So, and that now comes to the point of like, when you're aligned with your God, with your source energy, it means you always be in the flow. Even when nobody is saying it, you feel like you're in that overflow, even when it's not here physically, it's not manifest. So you feel it, you're always moving in the flow. So, and I'm gonna quote John 7:38 says, "Whoever believes in me, rivers of living water will flow from within them all the time, all the time." So, faith is turning like or tuning the tap on, positioning keeps the water flowing, and if you move away from, your alignment, you have a doubt. You start kind of like doubting, disobedience. Then you have negativity as well. You're always, attracted to negativity, gossips, and all that. You cut yourself off from the stream immediately. Oh my God, Modoanyeri, how have you been? Good to see you. Oh my goodness, it's been a long time. I hope you're good. Good to see you. So you always have to act in a way or that's, that shows God in you is really, rooted in you. So you can't be saying one thing and then you act differently. And that's why sometimes you struggle a lot, even with poverty. Yeah, right. So because, we're saying one thing and then we're acting differently. Sometimes, oh God, what was that? Sometimes we're more like, we're trying to fade it, and then we're losing on the other end of action. So if you fade it, if you want to believe it, then you have need action. 10 in the house and 8 likes. Give this a like, please. Oh, thank you, thank you. And welcome so much, Moduanyeri. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been long, long, long time. Long time. So what I'll say is that belief opens the door, but positioning yourself in faith, keeps you in the flow. So you have to always believe. So that's the starting point. And then, position yourself in faith, which is going to keep you in the flow, right? Not unless somebody has a question before I even ask my question, right? And, and we also want to mention that, overflow is not just about, receiving once. It's about learning how to stay connected to the source. And it doesn't matter whoever you believe. I don't care for me, it's whatever you believe in, that is you and your belief. So if you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, if you believe in, what else? Source energy, whatever, as long as you stay connected to it, is that connection. Your stream will never run dry. It doesn't matter what happens into your life. Things can come to shake you, but you're always going to stay rooted. You're always going to be in the overflow of abundance, of success, of whatever, riches, wealth, health, whatever, name it, whatever you want. So, and I want us to imagine, like, if you cut a branch from the tree, obviously it's going to wither. But, in the same way, now I want to bring the practical example. So if you cut a branch, it's going to wither. But so if you kind of like remain in being in the position that you were, and there is no action, there is no faith, your life as well is going to wither, just like, when you cut the branch. So whenever you feel disconnected with your source, just think about that, metaphor of, cutting the branch of the trees. What happens to the tree when you do that sometimes? So you always have to look that. So what can you do for you to bear, much more fruit? Find ways, find things that are going to bring you closer all the time, to stay connected with your God, or whatever you may call them, source energy, and so that you can always be on the overflow, even when sometimes not physically. Yeah, even sometimes when it's not manifested physically. Mudunyere says, yes, Jerry, it's been ages. I finally got to catch your live and absolutely loved your subject. So good to see you doing this again. Thank you, darling. Oh my God, I've missed you. It's been a long time. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. So what can you do? You have to practice. I keep on insisting, telling people, gratitude is more like where to start. Even like, always you have to be grateful, even when you don't even have the things that you want in life. And why do we have to do that? So that we can attract, we can always be in that magnetic field of attracting great things. And also, like, it's common sense that if you do not, like, even celebrate, and you're not even grateful for the little things that you have, I don't think even when you have the big stuff that you're really looking for, you're never going to have that satisfaction. You'll always be in the edge of wanting more and more and more, basically just for the sake of, wanting and being greedy. So find ways that you can prioritize, your daily devotion. It could be a word, it could be praying, it could be meditation. Meditation works so best for me on my end. And always in the morning, I love to meditate. And it's even in that process where, I get some ideas of probably there's something I did that day or even that week that, disconnected me with my source energy, right? So, because, if you do not, if you disconnect from your source, obviously you're going to be, what's the word? You're going to dry up. And that's where sometimes you find people feeling so frustrated from January to December, all day long, because they disconnected themselves from their source energy. They don't even have time to celebrate their small wins, and they always in a hurry to look for the big things that they really want. Yeah. Thank you, Hatchways. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, what is one daily practice or even routine can you commit yourself this October for you to stay plugged into God's flow? I don't know. You can drop there in the chat and let me know. So, one thing, you don't even need a lot of things. Just prioritize just one thing to keep you connected, and you commit yourself doing it, so that you stay plugged into God's flow. Hi, Priscilla. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, my bestie. Good to see you. So, I will talk about guarding your atmosphere. Oh my God. If you want to stay on the floor, you need to guard your atmosphere all the time. And the reason I'm saying this, it's because this is connected with Proverbs 4:23, and it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Flow can be disrupted by negativity, voices, by toxic relationships, and fear-based thoughts that you get from people and all that. And even, it's like your environment. That's what I'm saying. You have to guard your atmosphere all the time. And some of us are stuck in situations where I know like God has so much for us in store for us, but because of the people that surround us, they block. There's a block. That because there's a lot of negativity. Probably, the people that surround you there, they don't want to see you do good. Amen, Pastor J. So, and that's what saying. If you need an overflow this October, stay from gossipers, stay from negativity. Commit to peace. Wow, that's amazing. Oh, peace is everything. Peace is everything. I love that. Yeah, so you have to guard your heart. Audit your circle. Audit your relationships. Align with people who speak life to you, not death. Not people who are going to disrupt you and bring you down and all that. They're not clapping for you, because what flows into you will eventually flow out of you. So as much as you're being surrounded by negativity and mindset and all that, people who are always winning, poverty, all. There was a time I said something, and someone was like, you think highly of yourself. And I was like, no, it's not that I think highly of myself, but I love myself. Because I don't like having friends who will come and tell me, oh, I'm so broke, I got no money. I don't want to hear none of it. I don't want to hear, I don't want people who are scarce, who have a scarcity mindset. You can't be winning. We can't be sitting down here and we're friends and you're always telling me how broke you are. I don't care about you being broke. We just have to do something about it. It's simple as that. Why don't you start shifting your mindset? Why can't you start, counting your blessings rather than, telling me how broke you are, you got no money? Why are you laughing, Laura? It's true. I don't like to surround myself with, yeah. And I told someone that, and what do they tell me? Oh, you think highly of yourself? I said, oh, yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do, because I'm not destined for poverty whatsoever. Stop your quiet, God. Let's go. You're like, okay, life, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, that's your problem. But you have to, you have to, you have to guard your mind. The things that the people who calls you every day, what are they saying to you all the time? Because the more you surround yourself with those kind of people and those kind of talks, you're gonna, your subconscious mind picks it and you start playing, scarcity all the time. I don't want none of that. Confession brings possession. Oh, yes. So I don't want those conversations of how broke. If you're broke, you know what to do. Go to your dad. He's gonna fix you up. Anyway, 10 million in the house. Thank you so much. Or you go to the bank and find something there. So the jokes apart. So auditing your circle is very important, because you cannot, there'll be, if you're going to have, people who are always, having a negative self-talk, sooner or later, you'll be the fifth one. If you're three of you and always it's about, scarcity mindset and negativity and gossip and all that, sooner or later, you're going to join the club. So you just need to guard your atmosphere as much as you can. I'm not saying that you go around cutting people, but if these people are not bringing, you're not building each other. You're just selling fear towards each other and, being negative and all that. You'll rather just, walk alone, walk solo. You don't deserve that kind of things. For me, I choose this month, I choose life-giving connections. I do not want people who are going to deplete my energy whatsoever. And anyway, it's not even about money. It's even like how people talk about even their health and all that. I remember there's a time I was talking with my mom because I was struggling with my health. And I was always calling this illness I've been struggling with, my this, my that. And my mom told me, wait a minute, can you listen to what you're saying? Why are you calling it yours? Stop calling it yours. It's not yours. The moment you start saying, oh, my this disease, my Crohn's, my Crohn's, my Crohn's, it becomes yours. I like surrounding myself with people that are void of toxicity. Oh, yes. Oh, my God, this is everything. Yeah. Negativity drains a lot. It drains a lot. Oh my God. Have you ever had situations where you've just done talking with someone and because it was all about negativity and toxicity and all that, you are like, oh my God, it's like you've been going for marathon for 30 minutes nonstop without resting. So we need to guard ourselves. We need to guard our heart, not because we think highly of ourselves, but we need, to be surrounded by positive mind. 11 people in the house. Thank you so much, darlings. And don't forget to share this live and like, and also, subscribe to my channel. If you're here for the very first time, should avoid such people. Oh, yes, absolutely. So the other thing, we need to live in radical gratitude. For you to have an overflow in October, you have to practice an act of gratitude every day, not once in a while, but every day. And the reason I'm saying that is because we are in the First Thessalonians 5:18 says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you." So even when probably your health is, driving you, on the edge, just see the fact that you're alive. Somebody else is, fighting to breathe or fighting for fresh air or wherever. So, because the reason I'm saying this, it's because a gratitude is going to fuel overflow all the time. You are not going to see scarcity. Where abundance mindset has been built, it doesn't see a scarcity whatsoever. It doesn't matter even whatever kind of a situations that they're going through in life, it always sees abundance all the time. Pastor Fred, I will take the offering. So the more you give thanks, the more your source multiplies that all the time, the more you see it multiplying. So instead of focusing on what's missing in your life, I think it's good to always be thankful of all what already is overflowing in your life. And gratitude as well, it shifts your atmosphere to abundance all the time. You wake up feeling good, you wake up, like feeling abundant, wealthy, blah blah, whatever, all the positivity, name them all. Yeah, so I have a question for you guys. So you need to, not even like a question, I need to what's the word, God, to encourage you, like to all the time when you wake up in the morning, list 3 things that you are thankful for. And this October so far, it doesn't matter whatever negativity, whatever issues you're dealing with, but just look at 3 things that you should be grateful for, and see how life is going to unfold. See how things are going to change for you. See how you're going to look life in different lens or even different perspective. Another thing, we need to practice generosity all the time. There are people out here, all they do is take from other people. And I'm not talking about even money, even with, I don't know, even with advice and all that. They just want every time they're bothering you, they want to take, Kanini, hello, darling, good to see you, love. So you have to practice generosity. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about, when I talk about generosity, I'm not saying you go up giving money. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about, even giving time to people, giving an encouragement, sowing the seeds of kindness towards people. That's generosity. So when we talk about generosity, it has nothing to do with finances. Talking about, are you the kind of a person who's not stingy with kindness, who's not stingy with time? There are people who just want to take your time, take everything about you, but they don't give. Those are not the kind of people that you need in this month. You need to separate yourself with those kind of people. But yourself, you need to start that, so some kindness, um prioritize, spending time with the people that means a lot to you, or even when people need your time, you can do that for them. So whatever you have, because what you release, you're gonna get back. Whatever you release, it's gonna come back to you in tenfold. It doesn't matter. So this week, I want you to intentionally sow into someone's life, into the person's life, and watch how God will keep you in flow all the time. Are you talking about me? No, I'm not. No, I'm not talking about you. And thank you so much, 10 people, for being here. So we can't always be taking from other people. It's And the other thing is, look onto people. Don't just, there are people who are not able to talk about their issues or whatever they're dealing in life. But it's always good from time to time to, check onto people. Just checking up on them. It might mean a lot. It might really mean a lot. So the teaching point here is overflow is never meant to stop with you. When you become a channel and not a container, you stay in the flow. So you need to be a channel of spreading positivity towards people, and all that. And hey, I'm not talking about you, not unless that's how you're feeling about yourself. So you better check on me. Yeah. So the other thing is, we need to keep expectations alive for us to experience an overflow in this month. Yeah, expectations is the posture of faith. Doubt is going to close it, but when you expect, you're open. But you're expecting it without, being like, what's the word? Is it more like, there are people who can, without letting go. You just have to let go and let things flow. Have you ever seen, like, there are people who've not mastered the art of letting go? So you're holding on to something, you're holding on to it. The more you're holding on to it, you really want it, it doesn't come. But the moment you just like, okay, I open myself to receive, and you just don't stay there, like, but you just have that expectation, okay, in divine timing, something is gonna happen. Whenever it's gonna happen, and when it's gonna happen, absolutely, it's gonna be the right time for you. Do another episode, people who are blood suckers. Okay, I will do that. Thank you for that. This is amazing, Beshti. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Muntawanyere says, I want to commit to consistency this October. Wow, I love that. That's good. Yeah, consistency. Through consistency. And actually, you can see results, or you can see growth if there's no consistency. So that's a good thing. That's a good commitment. You're right, Jerry. Kanini says that. Title, dealing with religious bloodsuckers. Okay, we're going to do that. So you need also, so when we keep on expectations alive, it's not about, holding on to something so badly, but you know very well when it happens, it's going to happen at the right time. And sometimes we complain a lot that, God is not coming through for us, but maybe that's not the right time for you. Or maybe even sometimes he wants you to audit your circle, because he knows the moment he is going to come through for you, that person might, grab it, or, you might lose it. You might not even understand what you really have, the kind of, blessings that he's given you. So sometimes I've looked, even like with my situations in life, I've seen, as much as I've wanted something so badly, there've always been a delay, but there've always been a delay because of a certain reason. So that's how I see it. And I'm like, oh, because sometimes you see, the moment some people like you get rid of some people, you start having, it's like they were a block for you. Exactly. Thank you so much, Bodwanyeri, for the love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it's good to, so why am I saying we keep expectations? It's you have to expect always God's overflow daily. And you have to always like affirm yourself, my cup will never run dry, or my cup runneth over all the time you have. That's something I like to affirm myself. Whether I have it or I don't have it, I have to say it. I have to claim it all the time. So, and I will quote and say that an overflow doesn't end when it starts. It ends when you stop flowing with God. You have to stay connected. You have to stay grateful. You have to stay generous, and the river will never dry up. Yeah. Some of you, the river is dry because you're not generous. And I'm not talking about material stuff, like I've said, with your time, checking up on people, being there for people, and all that. So yeah, and not unless anybody has a question, I kept on saying that I'll be doing my live streams 1 hour and I'm out, and we've gone 50 minutes. So let me know if you guys have a question, and yeah, I'll be very much to answer. So thanks for the 14 likes, and for those in the bush, come in and let us elevate our sister, and your river will never dry up. Absolutely, absolutely. Nisho when size inkia, because 1 hour is 1 hour. How do you guard your heart? I said you guard your heart by auditing the relationships, the environment that you're in. That's how to go about it. So it could be the place that you are. There's a lot of toxicity. There's a lot of negativity. So you have to stay away from, and even the things that some of us intend to watch online. That's why sometimes I have people sending me stuff. Oh, watch this. Watch. Oh, look at what. And I'm like, listen, don't you ever send me this kind of stuff again. I want to guard my heart. I want to guard my mind and all that. Yeah. Yeah. So I've said the way you guard your heart, you have to start auditing your circle. And your circle means, your friends, your family, because we also have family members who can be, so crazy sometimes. So that's what I'm saying. It's not even about cutting people, like really cutting them off, but you can minimize the times that you spend with them, talking to them, and all that. Yeah, I hope I've answered your your question. Just in case. Charity, how are you doing, darling? Good to see you. If you're thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, and Ike, yeah, it's time, because 1 hour for me is things that occupy your space most have an impact. Oh my God, talk about it. Oh, what's happening? Oh my God, 1 hour. 1 hour is, I'm like, what happened? Oh my God, it's my internet misbehaving or what? Hey, Lord Jesus.
Anyways,
Oh my God, this is crazy. I don't know what's happening.
a secret of Laura, umeangusha teacher. Charity.
I'm good and care. Should I count? What is happening with my life? I don't know.
Network maybe.
Am I? Because I don't know now where I am.
Okay, let me drop. You can drop, then you come again. Let me drop.